Hello everyone, it's Wednesday my dudes, and this is another video here for the channel on the Easter tournament for GPG, and this is a rookie game between Grenooli and Just a Demo, and they're starting things out here on Landmass. Quite a bit of food on this map, 8 nerfs to start, should be 12 then 16, could be extras with Landmass, typically in the sort of centre area here. But they can get displaced onto like the very edges of the landmass and on the player's sort of sides of the map. So it'll be a lot of food for the guys here. I don't think there's really any hunt, so it's not too complicated of a T1. It's kind of just get your nerfs into the nursery and then eat some berries. There are shorefish sometimes for opportunities here, and there's some decent fishing in like the sort of corner areas, I would say. It might be worth the investment of a shipyard. And these little bits in the river and that, not too much. Quite a nice little bit of shorefish here as well. So sort of 3 points. Definitely favouring Just a Demo if he was interested in that. Those 4 are so close to Grenooli here. Don't really know much about Just a Demo as a player. It's the first time encountering them, but glaring issue seems to be worker production, and something that they need to work on, I think, if they're going to intend to get better at the game. I'm not really seeing too much wrong with the decision making in T1. It's just like how long they just got housed for there. I'll have a quick look here. So that's already a worker down. So it's like you've killed one of your workers. And there's a lot more nerf on this map than 10, 12. So you maybe don't have the knowledge that when you got 12 nerfs, there's probably 16 nerfs. And I mean, there's up to 20 nerfs here on this side as well. So a quick look. Not fully scouted the edges, but to be fair, these ones are slightly well hidden. But these could be found. There's 4 just up here as well. I think what will probably end up happening is that Grenooli finds all these and hides them. There's Demo still scouting here. And it looks like I got an idle command center again. For quite a while. Put the game time on. It's giving you the illusion that you can go sort of T2, but really you're quite a few workers behind here. This is a really long time, they're not making workers. And then you just choose to go T2. So that's a 5 worker deficit, so that's like you've killed 5 of your own workers just by not building them. In terms of context, that's 18 workers to 13, so it's like he's got a third more workers than you. And there's not really a difference, I think, in the T2 times. In fact, Grenooli's just a little, well, it's about the same actually. The exact same time, but with 5 more workers. That's really going to suck. I think I want to go T3 here. And what you could do is just put some light walls here. It's just like 3 light walls or so, maybe 4. Just to delay your opponent. Because you've scouted a troop centre, really gonna rush you. Let's give you some time to get your buildings down. And in worst case, you could just get maybe a turret here. Cover your carbon a little bit and cover your berries as well. And the command center can guarantee that location with its beams so that troopers can't stand on it. Or alternatively, you can build it a bit more up and you can wrap some light walls around it. And that way they can't stand on top of it either. Grenooli's rush is on the way now. Oh no, we're getting housed again. And the response when you get housed has got to be building it with 3 workers. 1 worker is just too slow. Cancelled it as well, so probably cancel those and hit T3, right? The buildings are up. So as I said, if there's a turret here or here, this will do very limited damage, and then you can just skulk away to T3. And then when you get T3, you can make use of those units to sort of make up the deficit. A lot of the damage in this game done in T1, just not queuing up the workers on time. It's one of the core basics that you need to be very diligent with. It's going to make a carbon over here. Unfortunately, Grenooli's on the move again. Might catch these workers. We don't have basic training either, so we're missing armor from the workers and 15 HP. So if you had basic training, you would need 2 more to just 1 volley a worker. Should give you a little bit more wiggle room when you're running back and forth from spot to spot. So after T3, can have access to strike mechs, gets queued up instantly. I think in these instances the spaceport is a lot more useful than the war center early on. Simply because you can, especially with lots of nerfs, you're going to have all this food, right? And other parts of your economy have been locked down. This is just too loud for me. Painful. Turn it down on down here. Other parts of your economy are locked down, and you can utilise the food by selling it off and buying the resources that you need. Even in T2 as well, we could have made some like heavy walls. I don't think I would want to rush anyone that's got crossings like this, unless I could get on them before they hit T2. It's such an easy wall. Instance like this, you would probably just put T3 and like double airbase and just fly over it. So you've got some mech destroyers. Like Grenooli's got a lot of mounties here. Did build this turret. I feel if you were going to build a turret, you should have just built one in T2 rather than get off in T3. And again, houses and queuing up workers seems to be like the core things you really need to work on. Everything else looks okay, but it's just like those fundamental basics are really weakening you as a player. And that means you're not getting to properly utilise and showcase your own knowledge and decision making on the other aspects. Get more center upgrades, that's good. You want to fall back to your turret maybe? And you maybe made too many mech destroyers here. And you don't want to fight under the Mounties. The Mounties have to be a priority here, because if you look at that DPS, they're just sort of exploding your mech destroyers. And that's like 500 carbon gone, and you might get another one as well. Close. Could repair it with the workers. But I don't think you had any reason to fight there. I think you could just kite into your tower and use your tower to help take down the Mounties. And then he'd never be able to win these trades with strike mechs. He does have a lot of upgrades. The ones that seem to be really important for mech destroyers against strike mechs is just getting the armor on the mech destroyers, because it really weakens the damage the strike mechs can output on them. I think what both players really need by now is another command center, and this is the most inefficient carbon system going. Even a turret in the way just to block them a little bit. Strike mech's getting in here, doing some significant damage. That's bloody 2 HP mech destroyer pains me to see it. It really needs to be repaired. Oh, so many Mounties from Grenooli as well. I worry for demo here. They're going to come in. Power core is undefended. They're still making mech destroyers as well. Probably needs fighter attack for all that. Or a huge amount of strike mechs. The tower's helping out, but it's a lot of DPS. A lot of HP running around. Up to 145 health, these guys. They got +2 attack as well. Unfortunately, devastating everything here that Demo's got. And not much hope for him now. So I think Grenooli takes this one. Demo resigns, and we'll go into the next game. So we're here on, what is this? Rivers. Less nerf on this one. So I need to keep an eye on Demo's command center, make sure he's making markers. So 2 nerfs, can probably just eat these. Decent amount of lure as well. Flump, 2 dewbacks. Be a bit of a slower T1 than the last game, because there won't be all the nerfs in the nursery generating food out of thin air. So that's fine, eating the nerfs. Maybe need a couple extra workers, 1 or 2 on the nerfs here. Between 5 and 6 would be about the sweet spot. Because as you can see, you get stuck at 40 food with a fort. And in this time when you're not making workers, you could get basic training. Queue up the worker now, please. Again, we're going to fall behind in workers. It's so important that they're built. Yeah, what the hell what he's up to. Seems to be getting distracted from his CC. Food processor here over the dewbacks and the flump, which you've scouted. It's a lot of food that you're just not getting, and this food doesn't require any carbon invested. So I mean, this could have been a carbon processor earlier, and then you just lure this food to your command center. And then all your workers go into food now, and again the command center's idle. So idle again, like 7 workers behind. Just sucks a little bit because I don't think we're really getting to see what Demo as a player could be capable of in terms of their own, you know, like strategies and decision makings and stuff, because we're just not nailing the most basic part here of just building the workers. They know how to lure beasts and stuff, place their carbons, eat the food at the start, all the basic stuff, just except queuing up the workers. And it's like almost like you're choosing not to build workers, just to tech. it's not like not a viable way to play the game. "15 workers behind now." There's nothing you could do playing like this. There's no units that you could get out. There's nothing that's like bullshit enough to carry you through such a deficit in workers. There's just no crazy units in this game. It's not like you can make like a Dark Templar or something like you could in StarCraft 2. And, you know, like kill so many workers quickly. You've got Geonosian warriors, but they're tech level 3 unit in Confederacy, so this wouldn't be enough workers to ever get you to T3 really. Got a lot of carbon as well. If we're just munching through these dewbacks and this Volumpisac quicker, the food processors on the berries and grabbing that up, and you just keep the workers going and shore up your T1, you could do so much more in the game. And you feel like you would get much more out of your own play as well and find it more rewarding. Just need to keep making the workers. Get in the habit of pressing H and just clicking A. Always should like be your fallback thing when you've got nothing to do. You come back to the command center and you check. Use it as a camera hotkey too. If you're scouting here, you just go H back to the command center. No workers are queued, you queue them up. Grenooli, not going to go for the rush this time. Just going to go for a T3. Spaceport, Mech Factory down. Missed a Fulump as well. Bit of food that could be claimed in these berries as well. The guy's starting some sort of cult where the firm belief that farms are greater than berries. It's always idle. Oh my god. Oh, I should really speed it up. I just feel like the big worker deficit, you kinda know what's gonna happen, right? It's off to T3. It's taking a very long time to crawl up to T3 here for demo because the worker deficit. And it's like everything else looks okay. Building the buildings for T3 and everything, getting the Nova set up and that. It's just not making the workers and just having less workers to play with. And a much, much weaker economy. Airbase down for Grenooli. Fire belt. It does tend to like make a bunch and then send them out rather than just rally them. Grenooli doesn't seem to have the confidence to just throw his units at his opponent as soon as possible. Don't know if he doesn't feel comfortable microing them or what. But normally just seems to stack them up, turn them out, and then send them over. I think he misses a lot of opportunities to do damage with that. So anti-air turret going to be built straight away here. Grenooli does see that, but still he's probably going to go up to like 5 or 6. Kills off the scouts. It's awoken him. Off he goes. Turret will go up. And then an airbase. So that's like good decision making when you're like late to T3. That way you can have your air sit on the turret and not get sniped. lot of air out for Grenooli, but there's not too much you can do with it with a turret there. You need something a bit different, like either mounties, pummels, some mechs, something you can get across into Demo's base and put on some pressure that can't just be hard countered by the tower. By the anti-air turret. I like to see both guys making a second command center to get more worker production. Here, I'm going to go out here and harass maybe the right hand side of the base. 11 fighters here for Grenooli. Certainly be enough to start a step through and maybe kill all these workers. Because the tower is kind of far out, you have to run to the turret. What's in the transport? A lot of workers here. Gonna build a fort. It's gonna be nicely on top of the big hill. It's aesthetically pleasing. Fighter from Demo here is gonna find this, but Grenooli's got probably about 18 fighters or something here. It just resigns. There's too much of a deficit to overcome there with the difference in the workers. But I think if Demo sort of shores up those parts of his game, could be capable of a lot more and putting up some good performances there. Do respect him for signing up to this tournament, but need to work on that because that's just the most basic fundamental part of this game and any RTS game really, is just always be building workers. Because that's what creates the economy for you, to have all the opportunities to do all the things that you might want to do in a game and implement your strategies. So, well played both players here for playing, and if you guys are interested in signing up for these things in the future, you'll find the GBG Discord link down below. Please like, comment the video and subscribe to the channel if you feel like it, if you want more GBG content, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye bye.